Hello and welcome. This is Julie Silver Stitches here on FlossTube and on Instagram. Today is October the 1st, 2024. Welcome. Nice to see you again. Nice to have you visit if it's your first time. We did this yesterday 3 times. Didn't work. So we're going to try again today. Anything is possible. So I think yesterday it was because everything was all scattered. There was no game plan. I didn't follow my planner, so I didn't know anything. It was all just, and my words weren't working at all. So we're going to try again today and see how it goes. I'm going to start out with, welcome, this is a FlossTube video, for those of you who don't know, and cross stitch. Works in progress, whips, no finishes, but lots of whips. So here we go. And a fun story partway through because, yeah, anyways, it might be a restart. So, the planner that I'm using is my Crazy Life Lori's cross stitch planner from 2024. I don't know if I'm getting the new one. I don't know what I'm going to use next year, so we'll see and figure out how that's going to go. But for now, let's talk about the whips for last week. I do 1 acrostic a week. Last week's word was bracket, B-R-A-C-K-E-T. I missed 1 day, but that's okay. And here we go. So let's start out with what we did on Monday the 23rd. It was Mini Butterfly Rose Cross by Bridget Ashwood for the bee. So I need a picker-upper thing. Okay, hold up. And my whole setup here today is very balancing. So we'll see how that goes. Get this all ready before I show you what it's going to look like up here. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like when it's all done. So that is Simon, I think. I think he wants to go run in the hallway, but he's not going to right now. So, yes, this is what it's looking like when it's done if I haven't showed you already. And here we are now. As you can see, when I was stitching, when I first picked it up, when I started it, I stitched all of the same color all the way across. I did it in the columns, so clearly you're seeing all of the column. Simon. He is trying to chase a figment of his imagination on a door, so he's gonna be probably jumping soon. Okay, anyway, so here we go. So this is all one color, but for my stitching prompt, this week I only focused on 1 square, so that was the fill-in of the first block. The next time I pick it up, I'm going to do the same thing. Just keep going back and forth with the blocks. I've realized that when I'm going through this whole thing, this whole pattern, I don't know what I did before, but I marked off stitches that weren't done. I didn't mark off stitches that were already done. It's a big mess. So I have to go through the whole thing and figure all of that out, but it's part of the journey. That's okay. So that was a Heaven and Earth design. The next one is also a Heaven and Earth design. It's from Randall Spangler. R for Randall. It is Mini Dragon in the Morning. So this is what it's going to look like. I ended up stitching in all of the... So this is what the whole thing looks like now, and then I'll crop it down to see what I worked on. So this is what I worked, this is the whole thing. So I am doing this in Royal Rows. You can see all of the rows, or the columns, I guess, but I'm okay with that because eventually it will not look like that. So I worked on this section right here, right here. So I finished, no, I didn't finish anything. Okay, so I started this section, this column right here, stitched in all of the parked threads on that. So progress is progress no matter how small. I did get to the 100 and something stitches that I was going to want to try to get to. On all my digital patterns, I'm trying to at least get to 100 stitches on the prompts per day for the acrostic, just so that, you know, some kind of progress. The ones that are the paper charts, you know, a little bit of time, but, you know, it's not, it doesn't matter as much for the count of the number. The next day has a story, so we're at Wednesday, and for Ash and Pikachu. This is what it's going to look like in the end. Today I'm going to do something different. I'm going to post all of the charts and designers down below, just so that you can figure out who did what, because at this point in time, I don't know who did what anymore for all of the Etsy patterns. So, yesterday, after filming, I put everything in a Walmart bag, a bigger Walmart bag on the floor. One of my cats overnight decided that they wanted to throw up. So, because it was my fault, I put all of my projects not in a project bag here. This was the only one affected, thank goodness. I am not that far ahead, so it doesn't really matter. I do not like the fabric, so it's okay. But this is what my poor cats have done. So it's not going to be, it might, you know, like, it's not super horrible, but it's horrible enough for me to say, no, can't work on it anymore until it's, you know, I figure it out. Especially since some of the throw up got into the actual design as well. Anyway, it's my fault, not theirs. But this is where I was previous to them throwing up on it. So the next time I work on it, this is I worked mainly on his mitten and the cuff of his mitten. But this is going to go into a wash. I don't know if I can wash it out. If I can, then great. If I can't, then oh well, start it on something new. That will be fine. So I'm going to put that over here. It's not even going back in a whip pile of any kind. Sad but true things happen when you have 4 cats. Okay. The next thing is Christmas gnomes, also found on Etsy. This is what it looks like when it's all done. James is probably going to want to escape, and he can because the camera is nowhere near where he is. But who knows? Anyways, okay, Christmas gnomes. I will put, like I said, all of the designers and charts names down in the below, just so that everybody can see the correct names. I will look them up before I post it or upload it. Okay, so this is where we're at. I added 200 and some kind of stitches up here. So I don't recall if the mitten was already there last time I stitched it, but there's a mitten, his whole arm is done, this whole half of his body is done. And I worked mainly on all of the beards. I've decided that all of these hanging threads that were the finishing ends didn't need to be there anymore, so I cut them all off. I cut off the ones that were definitely stitched in from behind, because then they're not going anywhere anyway, but that's fun. I started to keep things all in plastic bags, and that's totally what I should have done for Ash and Pikachu, but I did not. So there will be a restart the next time it comes up. I don't have the fabric, but future problems. Okay. The next thing on the list, skipped over the 27th because I don't know what happened on that Friday, but I only got to work on the memory game. Plus, I don't really know if I have a project that starts with K, or designer starts with K, or artist starts with K. I don't know. Anyway, next thing on the Saturday I worked on at the trailer, it was Enchanting Dragonfly by Doreen Jones. So, E for Enchanting Dragonfly. I made a joke yesterday on my yesterday's FlossTube that I didn't post, but that this is my only E project, I think. So, you know, I'm going to have to start another E project just in case I want to switch things up when it comes to that. But, you know, then things will never get done, right? That's okay. And in here, sorry, I keep it in like one of those plastic protector sheet, page protector things. Anyway, because it came from a magazine. Can't tell you the magazine. It is from the World of Cross Stitch, but what issue? I don't know. Doesn't matter. So, because I was at the trailer, and because apparently some days you need to be sociable at the trailer, I did not get as much done as I wanted to. I wanted to color complete the space where I was working on, like the color I was working on, but I got called away to go do something else. Anyway, okay, so here we are. So here's where we're at. The whole space of his body is now done. Is what it is. Okay, so the whole space of his body is now done. All of those colors are all filled in now. The rest of this body is finished, except for one stitch that I missed somehow of a different color, but that's okay. And then this wing is all finished. This wing is all finished. My plan was to move up into this wing because most of this wing and this wing is that light pink. I think it's like 763, 962, something, some kind of 60, something, somewhere in the 9s. Anyway, one of the 900 pinks. Anyway, I did, at the beginning of charting this, of stitching this, I did grid it, if you can see that. I don't know if I'm going to continue gridding it because even my grid, when I was counting it afterwards, was off. So I'm not going by the grid, I'm going by what I've already stitched. Some designers put 9 stitches, like Artisy puts 9 stitches all around the boxes of the, like the border. The border edge all has 9 stitches instead of the full 10. Don't get confused, it's all okay. Alright, and then the last thing for my across stitch for the week was tea, and that was Tired Trio by Plum Street Samplers, because I have 2 tea charts that start with T, and I didn't feel like bringing the Moonshine Cabin to the trailer, so this is what it looks like in the end. This is my floss card. None of those are the called for colors because in all reality, all of the called for colors, mostly, not all the called for, no, maybe just 310. Anyway, there's a conversion chart on the back. Most of those are not what they say they are. Anyways, but I have labeled each, you know, symbol number, so at least I can follow the symbols along. I'm doing this on a 28 count Lugana in cream ivory. Anyway, and at one point I was not able to count, so my stitches are not in the right spaces, but it looks great to me. Sorry, big truck stopping outside if you can hear that. Oh, it's Tuesday, it's my garbage truck, so it's gonna be a big bang. Hold on. Anyway, bang. No bangs yet. Anyways, this is all right. Okay, so sorry. Okay, so this little, I was working on this in the middle, this middle branch. I ran out of the color at the trailer that I needed for the rest of this branch. I realized his body was not the size it's supposed to be because his little tail back here needs to have more stitches. It doesn't bother me. Are you ready for the bang? It is coming. I can hear it. Can you hear it? Anyway, it's gonna scare me just so everybody's aware. Okay, and there's the bang. He'll do that 2 or 3 more times just to make sure everything's out. Yeah, okay. So I still need to finish his face. This guy's face, you can barely see. It's 1/1. That was a whole lot of, anyways. But I did this leaf. I filled in his 2 legs. I did this little tail, even though it's not stitched, counted right. And I realized that this leaf even though I'm not going to move it because it really doesn't matter in the end, is in the wrong spot. It has to be like 2 or 3 stitches lower. I don't care. I don't care. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me at all. It might bother me, but not yet at least. Alright, so that's pile 1 finished. That was the acrostic of bracket. Next week's word, or I guess this week's word now that it's Tuesday, is serious. I might start, we'll see. I would have already missed. I do my, oh, hi Skitters. I do my, my acrostics from Monday to Sunday instead of Sunday to Saturday. So I missed Monday because I didn't stitch it all yesterday, but that's not your fault. And, of course it's not your fault. Life happened, that's all. Anyways, so I already missed the S, so maybe I just miss 1 letter per week. Who knows? Alright, that is that pile. I'm going to switch over and somehow make the other pile not fall over because this couch has too many things on it. Okay. Alright, so I started out the week. I kind of have everything in order. I went through my calendar. Okay, excuse me, my planner, whatever you want to call it. Hello? Are you coming to say hello to the people? Come on. Whoosh. He says, no, actually, I'm just coming to say hello to my spot on the couch. But, you know, whatever. This is Skitters. He is going, hello. He is going to be 3. He's going to be 3. Look at those monster claws. He's going to be 3 on, in December. But he is a big, he is a big guy. He is a little big boy. Anyways, he is a, nope, it's gone. It might come back, but all he wants is his spot on the couch, and all my stitching stuff is all over it, so he is not entirely happy, but he wants to go see probably he is scared, actually. He is scared of the garbage truck because it's a big, loud noise. The story with Skitters, we adopted him 2 years ago because he was being treated as an outdoor cat, and clearly everything that scares him, like Skitters, that's his name, everything that scares him makes him jump. So definitely not an outdoor cat, but we've already had a big journey with Skitters. When he was younger last year, get off. All right, when he was younger, he swallowed a broom bristle. No. Okay, you want your spot? That's fine. I don't care, but just don't make everything fall onto the ground, please. I'll put that over there. Hold on, buddy. Just, okay. Here's your spot. Yeah, sorry. He swallowed a broom bristle, so we had to get him to the vet and get it taken out, and that was it was just before Christmas. It was a whole thing. Anyway, okay, so moving on. Now it's hot in here because the sun is out. It's a beautiful day, and the air conditioning is off because otherwise you won't be able to hear me. Soon. We will be done soon. Okay, so, not really because I still have half my whips left to share with you. Okay, the first thing so remember last video when I said that I was going to focus on one whip from the week before all week long and see how that goes? Well, it didn't really go. It kind of just lasted for one day, and then I completely forgot about it. So, it comes out of this magazine. This is Just Cross Stitch, February 2023. I have had it kitted up since February or March 2023, and this is Cozy Winter Mugs by KEB Design. KEB Studio Creations. I did not wash, I did not clean off my lens, so I don't know what it, anyways, that's fine. It seems to be okay. Alright, so I am doing this on I feel like it's an 18 count oatmeal, some kind of something Maida, I don't know. It's not the normal color way, at least. I am stitching it, sorry everybody, I am stitching it with Roxy Floss. You can purchase that in Canada from Evertote. Evertote and Roxy Floss. They're in London, Ontario. So they collaborate on a whole lot of different things. So if you did miss last week's video, this was a new start from last week. That's better. So the background of the mug, oh my goodness, is stitched 1/1 with platinum? No, planetarium, sorry. The snowflakes on this are 1/2, no, 2/1, good grief, with Stormy Cloud. And these swirls of steam, wow, are 2 strands of Stormy Cloud and Storm Cloud, and 1 strand of cotton candy. These are all old dye lots, so it might not be the same, of course, but I just liked how it gave the a different definition, a different texture gradient on the piece. Because if I didn't put the, what are you eating? You're just cleaning your face. Okay. If I didn't put the steam as over like 3 strands, then it would have barely showed up. The snowflakes work out well because of the blue background, but past that, yeah, so they are all old dye lots, so I'm not sure, I haven't been able to get Roxy Floss in a while, so I don't know what their color combinations are like now for their dye lots. Okay, so that's that. Skitters, he's gonna fall asleep. He's having a whole body washing meltdown. Okay, excuse me, thank you, sir. Okay. The next on the list is Pokemon starters. Okay, so on the Monday the 24th, on the Tuesday the 24th, Sisk Stitches, she has a Facebook group, and she's got an Instagram account, and she has a FlossTube channel, all under Sisk Stitches, S-I-S-K-E. Anyway, she lives in Belgium. She's fantastic. And she came up with a memory game. So it was, the whole premise is she has 9 different animals cards, 9 different sets of animal cards, so pairs. And if the first, and you have 9 different whips. Okay, so if you have one, like if let's say the lion cub gets called, that's 100 stitches. If it gets called again, that's another 200 stitches, and then it goes back. So if you want to, you can change up your whip once it goes back to the single 100, or you can keep going with the 100, 200, 100, 200 all the way through, so that that piece will get progress, consistent progress. If you want to join, that's great. If you want to just follow along and see what the calls are, and then, you know, do it that way, that's cool too. Siska has a lot of different games on her Facebook group, and I think she's posted most of them to Instagram as well, just in case you're not on Facebook or vice versa, that you can do. She has tried to play all of them. She has not successfully continued to play all of them, but that's okay, because you know what works for one person doesn't work for another person. Just because she comes up with all of the ideas doesn't mean she has to follow through with all of the ideas. Okay, so back to this. This is Pokemon starters. Again, I'll list the information down below because it's off of Etsy. Alright, so this was what it's going to look like. And then here is what it looks like now, what I have done so far. I finished off Chikorita, and I'm color completing in this, like in a section. Only because when I loaded it into Pattern Keeper, I had to input all of the symbols, And then now it's just coming up with, you need to stitch this. It won't tell me the count or the color, like the DMC color, but that's okay. This is why on this magically fantastic thing that I made, I've put down like the colors and then all of the numbers. So if I see this symbol, then I know it's 910, and poof. There's, I don't know if you know, on Pattern Keeper, there's a way to search for all those symbols. You have to do it yourself, but you can highlight all of the symbols that are that color, that are that symbol. Hi, I know, you go to those. And then just check them off as you go down. So as you can see, I was at my 100 stitch count. I was working on this 964, I think it is, or 959, or not, whatever the color was. I don't know. Anyways, so anyway, I stitched Chikorita, and now I've slowly started. So everything from here on up is all finished. So now we're just going to keep working down with working on Bulbasaur. All that to say, when I do acquire the color that goes in here, Pig will get his whole body finished of this section, but until then, he will have some spaces. That's all the same color, so it's a shade of brown. I didn't have it in my stash yet. That's fine. And you're just so comfy lying on all my stuff. And I think I know who puked this morning, but who knows, really? Who knows with the 4 of them? I know it wasn't Lexus, but it could have been really any of the other 3, but I'm pretty sure I know who it was. Okay, what's next? What's next, party people? Okay, so in this game as well, it is now an ongoing joke that the penguin, when the penguin gets called, because now the penguin has been called 3 times in the last, since September 24th. Now it is on October 1st. So it will go like this. So here we are. I am stitching this block by block. It is a whole lot of grays. Can you guess the pattern? No, not from all the grays. It is this. It is Mini Snow Leopard by Artisy. Anyway, and here we are. So it's not a full 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not a full 600 stitches yet. It's like, I can't tell you, but because all of these outside blocks are all 9 by 10, not 10 by 10. So if I did the math, I could probably tell you, but math is not in my wheelhouse right now. So if you turn it a little bit, you can see the variations of the different grays. There is a brown and a blue also somewhere in there, but, you know, 1 or 2 stitches of each. So it doesn't really, there's 3 or 4 different grays at this point in time. But that's okay because it's still a new whip to me, a new work in progress, so it's still very exciting to see what's, you know, what the happenstance is with when it gets called. And luckily, I've already gotten all of those called for colors in there. I haven't come across a color yet that I don't have in my stash, which makes me very excited as well. Alright. You know it. You want to see what I did. That's great. It's one of my oldest full coverage pieces, but not my oldest. I will show you my oldest next, actually. But this is Minnie Watching the World Go By. It's a retired chart by Heaven and Earth Design. It is, the artist is Lucy Pittaway. And I'll show you the whole thing, and then I'll go back and show you what I did this week. So this was another 100 stitches, because it's only been called once. So this is the whole thing. And where I worked on this week, skitters, thank you. I need to be able to trim your, you need to go have a spa day, sir. You don't like the spa. Or he just doesn't like, well, he doesn't like anybody touching his paws. So this is the thing. It's a difficult life. Alright. If you have any tips or tricks, I am more than willing to, you know, figure it out. Okay, so any of these green stitches, those are all new. This is the middle of the right hand side. A couple weeks ago, I was able to acquire all of the greens in this piece that I was missing. Yeah, so I'm slowly just going in and filling in all of the green spaces that I have already missed, that I have moved on from stitching from. So that was a call for one of the days. This also was a call for one of the days, and it was a call yesterday. I didn't get to do it, so life happens. It was a whole day yesterday. Like I said, I tried to film 2 or 3 times. Nothing that I did worked. I definitely did not get to 30 minutes either of those days. So I am definitely more chatty today and more upbeat and huzzah, yay life. But anyway, this is Sad Fairy. I can't tell you if it's retired or not because I don't know. I can't remember. I don't think it is. But it is also from Heaven and Earth Design. And the artist is Elena Lazareva. And I was supposed to, like I said, I was supposed to work on it yesterday, but I did not. James and I had an appointment. Well, James had an appointment yesterday morning. We did that. I was going to stitch before that, but I really slept until we got up to leave, essentially. It was not a great... hold on, I have to cough. It was not a great mental health day, I guess. My whole day was just completely... bleh. Anyway, this goes this way. So here we are. As you can see, this way. Hold on. Yeah, sorry, this way. As you can see, this was already all done, blah, 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 whatever. So, sorry guys. Okay, so I filled in, for the 100 stitches, there is a very light purple in this section around here. Again, I'm going to have to go through this chart as well and mark off the stitches that I've actually done versus the stitches that are not done yet, and vice versa. There's a whole lot in here as well, I don't know why, that I know this is all filled in, this is all done, that's fine, but it's when you get down to here where it's all, you know, in blank spaces. This is on an 18 count white Aida. Everything is on Aida except for that tired trio. Now I have something in my throat and it won't go away. Curses. Anyway, so I also know that... sorry, guys. I also know that Linda Ramos, I think is her Instagram name, is also stitching Sad Fairy. I have never seen anybody else, at this point in my life at least, working on her. So it's very exciting. I was very excited to see her last video. So Linda and Terry from Terry Lee Crafts got together. I guess they live close enough together to be able to stitch together and shop together and film together and all of those things. So they have started their own together FlossTube. It is called Stitching... I'll link it below. It's gone right now. Stitching Sisters in Christ. Anyway, it'll be here. I can't remember it right now, but it's fairly new. They've had one intro video and one regular FlossTube episode, so both of them are great. You should go check out those ladies. They do have a portion at the end, so they don't talk about it all the way through. They do have a prayer portion at the end, just like Terry Lee used to do in her videos. So if you want to tune it out, that's absolutely fine. They don't, they don't tend to stitch religious things that I've seen so far. So, which is fine, either way, regardless. But if you do want to go check out those ladies, that's fantastic, because they're very relaxing to listen to. They're very great. They're very good. Anyways, that's all I'll say about that. I do have some, I guess, of Sad Fairy colors in here. Clearly that's not everything, and I'm really not sure why. I don't know. Anyways, regardless, that's all I have to say about that. I am starting, regardless is a word apparently, but maybe that'll be the name of the video today. So, I have started today, October 1st, I have started what I consider the works in progress that I want finished but really don't have a deadline for. All of my paper charts that I would love to see finished, but again, don't have the drive to want to do it, or don't, like, I want to see them finished, but I don't want to stitch on them, because they are paper charts. I'm not 100% loving paper charts anymore since Pattern Keeper and all these digital things have come around, but at the same point, you know, whatever. So the Dreams board that I have, this is the Dreams board. It is 31 works in progress. For the other 5 spaces, I have decided to, because apparently I only had 31 paper charts. Only 31, that's fine, right? So I've decided to work on it 30 minutes a day. Sisk is going to let me know. She let me know last night for today's, and she's already let me know today is for tomorrow because she is in Belgium, which is 6 hours ahead of me. So she is, you know, it's, I don't know, it's 2 o'clock or something here now. So she is on her way, or 1:30, or who knows. There's a clock up there. I think it's maybe 1:45. Anyway, she is well on her way to getting her life in order and getting her kids ready for bed and XX and X, whatever. She might be stitching again later, but who knows, right? So that was a whole side note. So before she forgot, she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna let you know the spin number for tomorrow." So I don't know what the project is. I haven't looked it up yet, but my stitching is done for today, and Skidders is loving the pets. Okay, so that is my future plans going forward. I'm going to be doing the memory game. So trying to work on 3 whips a day. So a memory game, memory game, the acrostic. So the acrostic for this week is Serious. I've already missed the S, and the only E chart I have is Enchanting Dragonflies. So who knows? We'll see what happens. I might. I also have another E chart. It's this one. It's Egg Hunt. I can't tell you who it's by right now because I've gotten so many different charts lately. Anyways, but I might start egg chart. I don't egg. I don't know. It's an egg. Regardless, or I might start some. I don't know. Or I might just work on Enchanting Dragonfly. I don't know. Whatever comes to work with me will come to work. So I'm going to. Did I finish that whole thing? So, memory game. The acrostic for this week was Serious, and then the dreams board. So 30 minutes in the morning when I wake up for the dreams board, and then I have the rest of the day for the other 2 whips, the memory whip and the acrostic whip. So far, I know it's only been 2 days, 1 day. It's only been the first day, but it seems to be working out well. I am going to then, between now and the time I fall asleep, I guess, work on a surprise for next week, because I don't know what it's going to be yet, because it is an E. Who knows? So, I'm going to let you go because this is a good amount of talking for today, and I need to keep going with today, otherwise nothing gets done. And I will see everybody later. Sparkle and shine. Have a great afternoon if you're, in North America. Have a great evening if you're in Europe and or beyond. And see you later. Bye, everybody.